word that is synonymous to Gen Zs, it has to be social media. And if I tell you to guess, you might most likely guess the same thing. Social media is one of the things that a lot of people do, but when it comes to Gen Zs, they are the cheerleaders and the chairmen. And today we're going to be talking about social media and self-worth, how the two work together, how they two affect a teenager. And I have a teenager in the studio today. Shout out to all the teenagers out there. So we have a teenager in the studio who is going to be having this conversation with me. No other than the delightful, handsome Mr. Ofe. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you, Mom.
Good to have you. Can you introduce yourself? Tell us about you.
I'm Preciouifeanyi. I'm a teenager. I'm going to talk about social media and self-worth.
Fantastic. So I'm going to start with the most unconventional question and one that might be a bit personal. How many hours do you spend on social media in a day?
Often I check my screen time, like my phone. I average 7 hours
A day. A day. Wow.
a day. I average 7 hours a day. And that 7 hours, I also check like the analysis of what I do every day. I use WhatsApp, Snapchat, and Instagram, but I don't really use TikTok. Then I also edit, so CapCut is part of my apps in the analysis, and I also check on YouTube. I also watch things on YouTube, which I want to learn and stuff like that. So it's also part. So during that, I average like 7 hours. But if I don't really use my phone, I don't check all that things except I'm editing. I average like 4 hours a day too.
Okay, if you're editing, you can do like 4 hours.
No, I edit like 1 hour 30 minutes a day.
Okay. And the rest of the 4 hours plus is on
WhatsApp
5 hours plus
is on WhatsApp and YouTube.
and TikTok,
I don't watch TikTok like that.
Instagram,
And Instagram too.
Snapchat.
Snapchat.
Teenagers and Snapchat are like 5 and 6. Okay, so have you ever compared yourself to someone, maybe a public figure or a classmate or a friend, someone that you just know from afar, and you look at them and you're like, this person?
A public figure, I'll say Asha Khan. I always want to be like Asha Khan when I grow, because of, I don't know, it's just like it comes from his art when he gives and everything. The way he lives, I just love the way he does everything he do. So I always look at myself like, yeah, I can be like Asha Khan. I can do all these things that he does, but I can't, like, he has a different work that he do or something. I can work in a different way, but I can still be a philanthropist like Asha Khan or something like that.
Amazing. So that's on the good part. So he inspires you.
Yes, he inspires me.
Have you also seen someone or seen something on social media and it affected your self-esteem and you start feeling like, I'm not like this person, I'm not as good or as tall or as handsome or as whatever as this person?
Yeah. When there's a footballer they call Lamine Yamal. Okay. So when he first started blowing up, I was not really into him. Then when I heard that it was around that 16, like my age range, 16, 17, I was like, because I also play football, I also want to be a professional footballer. I was like, Yamal. But the thing is that his greatness is that you can't just eat. That's how great like he is. So you can't just eat. Sometimes I want to force myself to stop watching him, but I can't just like it's the fact that he is good and he's that. And every time I watch him, I just like, yes, I can do this since he did it from his own perspective. And I also use Osimhen as an example too. If they brought him up from the street of Nigeria, they can also bring me up from anywhere. And that I also use that Lamine Yamal since he's my age. I always want to like that part of me who wants to eat or what dislike what he does, but I can't just eat him. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the greatness.
Because he makes you feel like, why not me? Why is he him? Yes. Why can't I be the one in that privileged position? So it affects you. So you're saying that what you see on social media, other people's success or how other people are thriving, can also affect you negatively.
Yes, yeah. And it depends on how you handle the pressure. Depends on how you handle pressure. And one thing again is God. You must know, you must have a connection with him. Because if you don't have a connection with him, all these things will enter your head. Then there's a prayer point I want to advise young teenagers to say. If you know you don't, how I put it, you know you're not really sure of what you want to do, just wake up in the morning, recite any part of the Bible, just read, then tell God that, Father, please show me a way, or tell me what I want to be, lead me on how I will do this and do that. And once the connection just gets there, you're just going to be free to God. And me, the reason why I feel like the pressure is not really on me is that once I pray to God, I don't really, if I ask him once or twice, I don't just really remind him again. I just wait for him to do it. I'll be like, yeah, since it's God, just going to do that.
So you trust him.
I trust him.
And then do what you can.
Yes, I do what I can at the moment.
Amazing. So how many platforms do you have a social media accounts?
I have on Instagram, I have on Snapchat, I have on TikTok, but I don't post on TikTok, but I have on Instagram and Snapchat.
Instagram, Snapchat.
Yes.
Have you ever made a post and you felt like, woo, this post, people are reacting to it, nice?
The reason why I stopped TikTok, because TikTok there's more of like people that want to people who want to comment more on your TikTok. Then all I put it, there was a time I used to do TikToks with my brother. Then I will see comments, not on me, but on my brother. You'll be like, because my brother is way taller than me. Be like, why's your brother tall? Why's your brother this than you? And I'll be like, it's not even my fault. Then the ace was like, how will I just this? So I just stopped doing TikToks and everything.
Okay. So you stopped posting on.
I stopped posting on TikTok.
But how about your Snapchat? Like, do you get comments that gets to you?
On Snapchat. Yes. On Snapchat, I'm like, how I put it, those different apps, I'm a different person on those 3 different apps. On Snapchat, I just live freely. I don't even check their comments and everything. I just post and I don't even care about what they see and everything. I just post on my story and leave it that way. But on Instagram too, I'm a different person on TikTok. On TikTok, I post, when I used to post on TikTok, I used to post like those normal things TikTok that they dance and do the trends. But on Instagram, I post like fashion stuffs and everything. So, and how I put it, I know that is what I like to do. So once I post it, the only way I would delete it is if I'm not feeling that post again. Or I'll be like, this post has stayed for a very long time. Then I just delete it. But on TikTok, I don't know what's wrong with TikTok. If the cat gets mad, I just delete it. But on those different.
So it's a spontaneous thing for you.
Yes.
But have you ever gotten a hate speech or someone that said something, apart from people saying you're shots or something? Have you ever made a post and someone, said something?
Someone said, I won't blow.
Like you won't blow.
I won't blow. Like I
won't blow.
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay.
I won't blow. But how I feel is that consistency is just the key. No matter what you are doing, just be consistent. So the eight will come. Is meant to come. Because how I put it, just like temptation, you can't avoid temptation, but you can't avoid temptation, but you can choose not to fall for it. That's how it is. The eight will come. Once you are like getting to that stage, the eight will obviously come. So you just have to like just live with it.
Have you seen or do you have any friend or someone who ever got to the point of depression? Or maybe you yourself, I don't know, who got to the point of depression because of what someone said to them on social media or what they saw on social media?
All this I've not.
Yeah. Thank God. What do you want to be in the future?
I want to become a professional footballer, but what I want to study in school, I want to study law.
Okay, you want to study law?
Yeah.
Or you want to end up as a professional?
I want to end up as a professional footballer, yeah.
Okay. So what are you doing now to get you there?
How do I put it? Well, I don't see myself practicing law. I take that as my second option, though. Like if I don't make it pro, then I'll just But I'm in an academy, so I train three times a week, and individual training maybe like once a week because of school and everything. So I just train. I pray to God. That is one necessary thing you need to do. Just pray, do your needful like we on the word, and leave the rest to God. So that's what I do.
Okay, so Ofe, if you have one word of advice for fellow teenagers, regarding social media, what would that advice be?
Do not take everything you see on social media personal. I don't think everything you see on social media is real. Because as some other people, what they do on social media, that's not what they're doing behind closed doors. So you might see some people like they're doing some bad things and everything, but you don't know what they're doing behind closed doors. Maybe praying to God and everything, but they're doing that just for the fame and everything. So don't just think everything you see on social media is real.
Good. Now I'm going to take you back to the first question you answered. You said that you spend like 7 hours on social media. Do you think that's addictive? Do you think that's too much or too small or just okay?
That is it's average for me though.
It's average.
Yes, it's average for me.
How long a day do you read?
How long? I read 2 hours a day.
2 hours a day. Amazing. Okay, so you read for 2 hours a day and then you go on social media and spend like 7 hours, part of which you do CapCut, um,
YouTube,
TikTok,
TikTok,
YouTube,
yeah.
and Instagram, Snapchat. Okay. I want you to make me a promise today, Ofe, that you are going to reduce the number of hours you spend on social media because believe you me, 7 hours is a whole lot. Unless you have a business that you're running on social media, but if you do not, it's a lot. Are you going to make that promise? Look at this camera and tell everybody watching this P&T that you're going to tone it down. And how long are you going to now be spending on social media?
I probably spend like 5 hours.
All right. Okay. So it's been amazing having you today on the show. Thank you so much for coming here to share and to be a part of what we do. And I hope that if we invite you again, you're going to come, right? Good, good, good. All right. Thank you everybody for watching to the end of today's show. We had a fair in the studio and he's been able to share what social media has, how he's been interacting with social media and how it has affected his self-confidence, the skills he wants to learn, the person he wants to be in the future, and everything in between. And it's been a fantastic conversation. Stay with us. If you've not subscribed to this channel, do well to do that right now. Click in the comment section, drop your questions, and I'll be right here to respond to you today. I see you again next week, Friday.